Hello guys, welcome to a new video. And in this new mega video, I'm going to configure a AAA server, and we are going to be able to authenticate with the AAA server using TACACS with router 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one over here is going to be EIGRP. So let's go ahead and put right here EIGRP. And this one over here is going to be OSPF. And the first one that I'm going to configure is EIGRP on this side over here, and I'm going to configure EIGRP, and also I'm going to configure the AAA taggers like I said before. And what I'm going to do is whenever I configure everything, I'm going to start configuring from the computer. So it's kind of like a real scenario. So what at first I'm going to do is I'm going to send somebody to router 1 to configure router 1, and then router 2, router 3, and then router 4. And then after those are configured and up and running with EIGRP, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to configure the AAA server with the TACACS with this IP address over here. So guys, let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to send somebody to router 1. So he's going to physically connect to router 1 using a console port or whatever he's going to connect to. And he's going to configure router 1. So let's go ahead and start router 1. Um, As you can see, a brand new configuration. So let's go ahead to config t. Let's give it a host name of R1, right? Brand new configuration. So let's go ahead to interface gigabit 0/4, which is the interface that goes to this network over here, to the computer, my computer, and also the AAA server. So let's go ahead and configure that IP address. 192.168.1.1/24. Now shut down. Okay, and then after that, we need to configure gigabit 01 and 00. So let's go ahead and do that. 01 IP address of 172.16.5.1/30, so 252, now shut down. And then let's go ahead to gigabit interface 00 and configure 172.16.6.1 /30, now shut down. There we go. So we have our configuration for the interfaces done. So now what we need to do is I need to add those IP addresses to EIGRP. So let's configure EIGRP, and the autonomous system that we're going to use is going to be 10. Let's just go ahead and know the summary. Let's go to network 192.168.1.0. This is /24. The next one, networks 172.16.5.0/30. So the wildcard mask is 0003. And then let's add the 6th network. Okay, so here it is. I have added those networks. So now, since he's done with his configuration, he's going to go ahead and connect his computer to router 2. So let's go ahead and open router 2, config T, and from router 2, he's going to give it a host name of router 2, because I gave him all the configurations and how each router needs to be configured. So he's going to do that for me, so then I can connect with the computer. So here it is, up and running. Let's go ahead and configure interface gigabit 0/1. Give it an IP address of 172.16.5.2. As you can see right here, /30, 252. Now shut down. And then let's go ahead to interface gigabit 00. And this one is going to have an IP address of 172.16.6.2/30. Now shut down. Okay, if you want to test connectivity, let's pin router 1.5.1. Great, and now that's 6.1, just to make sure that we have connectivity, right? Great, so that is working. Now let's go ahead and configure gigabit 02 with an IP address of 172.16. That um, it looks like it is either that 3. So let's go ahead and give it that 3. Okay, so let's go ahead to router 2, 172.16.3.2. Now shut down. Great. So now let's go ahead and configure EIGRP, router EIGRP 10 because it needs to match. No auto summary. Network. The first network 172.16.6.0.3 and then the 5.0. Right, that's 6 and the 5 and then let me verify EIGRP 10 and then let's go ahead and do so no shutdown for gigabit 00 and gigabit 01 was also no shutdown. So for some reason we cannot form a neighbor relationship. So let's leave it like that and we can troubleshoot in a little bit. So then let's do that 3 network that 3. Let's go ahead and do show IP EIGRP neighbor. We do not see any neighbors for some reason. So let's go ahead to interface gigabit 0/1. No shutdown. Let's do a shutdown and then no shutdown. See if that works. Change to down and then up. And we're still not able to form neighbor relationship over here. But we are able to do ping 172.16.5.1. So we're able to ping. Let's try it again. Here we go. We're able to ping. Let me make sure that they are on the same interfaces. So gigabit 01 and then gigabit 00. Let's go ahead and go back. So we're still not able to form a neighbor relationship. EIGRP. Oh, that is good. Let's do show IP interface brief, my favorite command. So on 00 is 16.6.2, on 01.5.2. Let's go to router 1, do show IP interface brief, 16, yep, it's up and up. And then this one for router 2, it's up and up as well. So why are we not able to form another relationship? Let's go ahead and end. Let's do a debug EIGRP neighbors. Um, let's do packets. So hello and query and all that. So let's go ahead and config T and then do a interface gigabit 0/1 shutdown and then no shutdown. Okay, it came up, but we're not sending anything, which is really weird. So let's go ahead and end. Let's save it, save our configuration. Let's end it right here, save our configuration, then reload, yes, and then reload over here too, yes. And since that is reloading, both of them are reloading, let's go ahead to router 3 and configure router 3. So he's going to router 3 right now. Config T, hostname R3. Let me see something. Okay, R3. Let's go to interface gigabit 0/2. Oops, 2. IP address of 172.16.3.1/30. Now shut down. Then let's go ahead to interface gigabit 0/1 and configure IP 2.1. no shutdown, and then gigabit 0/0, 172 .1.1/30, no shutdown, and this one are still, let me see, okay, show IP, EIGRP neighbors. We still not see anything for AS10, show IP, EIGRP neighbors, show IP, um, so for some reason we're not able to form that relationship. So let's go ahead to router 3 and let's see if we're able to do it for router 3. So from router 3, we configure gigabit 01, 00, and also 02. So 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and router EIGRP 10. No auto summary. Network 172.16.3.0.3, and then that 1.0 and that 2.0. Okay, so that's configured, and we're still not able to form a neighbor relationship either over here. So let's go ahead and do N and save this configuration. And let's go ahead and just close all the tabs. And let's go ahead and save this. Okay, you cannot save it. So let's go ahead and turn everything off. For some reason, it's not working right now. So it is saved. Let's go ahead and save it. We haven't saved it. Cancel. Save project as. Sounds good. Yep, overwrite it. Cannot overwrite it because it's open. Let's just go ahead and save it to this one. Okay, close GNS3. Yes. Because EIGRP should be working right now, but it's not working for some reason. So let's go ahead and just restart GNS3. Oh, that is great. Let's go ahead and open GNS3 again. And let's go ahead to recent project. Let's go to this one. So it's going to bring up my project that I saved, hopefully. Okay, let's start everything up again. So let's give it a second. So after I configure EIGRP, um, what I'm going to do is I am going to configure the TACACS server. So let's go ahead and see if it is still booting up. Okay, let's open all of them up. And I'm going to configure, like I said, TACACS, so we can just configure everything from this computer over here, the VPCS. Let's go ahead and see if it's done. They are not done yet. So what we could do, let's go ahead to this computer over here and give it an IP of 192.168.2/24. The default gateway 172.168.1.1. Great, now let's see if we are able to pin our default gateway. There we go, so we are able to pin router 1 from PC1, so that's great. Now let's see if we have neighbor relationship. Show IP or EIGRP neighbors. I still don't have any neighbors. So am I doing something wrong with EIGRP? Show run section EIGRP. So we have 4, okay. This network over here, that's fine. show run section EIGRP. Okay, so that is configure show IP EIGRP interfaces. Show IP EIGRP interfaces. So in router 1, seems like it is working fine. We see that the interfaces are 1, 0, and 4. But for this router 2 over here, seems like it is the one giving me problems. So let's go ahead and take a look. That 5 network, that 6 network, show IP interface brief. So I configured this correctly, I believe. Let's see. The 00 network is the 6.2. Show IP interface. So let's go ahead to router 2. Config T. Let's do no EIGRP or no router EIGRP 10. Okay, let's save that. And now let's do router EIGRP 10. No auto summary. Network 172.16.5.0. 3. Here we go. So now we're able to form neighbor relationship. I don't know why it didn't work at first. Maybe I did something wrong. Um, okay, neighbor relationship up and running. And then that 3 network. And there we go. So we are able to form neighbor relationship. Now let's go ahead do it over here from over here. Show IP, EIGRP interfaces. Yep, so this is up and running. So that's good. Now let's go to router 4. Or uh the um the network technician is going to go to router 4. Config T. Let's give it a host name of router 4 interface gigabit 0/1. The IP address for that 172.168 or 172.16.2.2 and /30. Now shut down. And then let's go ahead to 00 and configure that 1.2. Now shut down. Let's go ahead to router EIGRP 10. No auto summary. Network 172.16.1.0. 3 and that 2.0.0.3. There we go. So we have 4 neighbor relationship. So that is great. Now, if we do show IP EIGRP from router 4, we should be able to see all this 192.168.1.1 network, this network over here, and this network over here. Do show IP routes. Sorry. There we go. So we see the network. So we should be able to pin the VPC or the computer over here. Pin 192.168.1.2, which is this computer over here. So there it is. We are able to ping from router 4 all the way to router 1. So now we have connectivity. Okay. We have connectivity, but we do not have the AAA or TACACS configure. So that's the first thing that we have to do. So we have to configure TACACS. So let's go ahead and do that. Config T. And one thing that I want to do is open Notepad or LeafPad. Yep, LeafPad. And let's just leave it over here. And every command that I do, I'm going to paste it over here so then I can just copy and paste it to the other routers. That way I don't need to do it over and over again. Okay, guys? So now, the first thing that I want to do is let's go ahead and configure a let's configure a AAA new model. Leave it like that. Let's enable password and call it Cisco. And then let's do a username and let's call it Oscar, my name. and then the password, I want it to be Cisco, and then that username, asker, let's let's give it a privilege of 15. So now let's go ahead and I forgot to copy. So copy and paste, and let's remove this. This might take me a little bit, but it's going to save me a lot of time. So here it is, username, all of that, good stuff. Then after that, what I want to do, I want to configure a group. So we need to do a TACACS group. So let's go ahead, triple A, and we're going to do group server, and the server that we want to do is going to be um, TACACS, TACACS Plus, and let's call it GNS3 group. Okay, and then from here, let's give it a server name, and then we are going to call this, the server name is going to be router1 for router1. So go ahead and do that. Done. So now I'll go ahead and exit. So it is saying that router1 server is not defined. That's fine. Let's go ahead and copy this. Paste it over here. And like I said, it's going to save me a lot of more time that is going to take me to clean this up. Let's do it like this. Server name router1, that's fine. Now let's go ahead and go to the TACACS server or that TACACS group. So TACACS server, it is called um, router1 right here. So go ahead and just copy this and paste it right here. Then after that, I want to, from here, I want to give it an IP address. Address IPv4, and it's going to be 192.168.1.100. And I still need to configure that um, this TACACS server in a little bit. I'm going to do that. So just bear with me. Let's go ahead and copy this and paste it over here. And after that, we need to give it a key, GNS3, which is the key for the TACACS server that is pre-configured in that TACACS server. Paste, that's good. Now, let's go ahead and configure line VGY 0/5, which is the one that's going to allow us to Telnet. And let's do transport input all. So paste it, and then transport input all, paste it, and then let's go ahead and do, after that we need to enable that authentication. So let's go ahead and exit, triple H authentication, and then after that authentication, login, because that's what we want to enable. We want to enable triple authentication to login as a default, and the group that I want to add is the group which was router1. So router1 for this one. And then if router1 is not available, so if the TACACS server is not available, I want to use local, so the login local, which is going to use the username and password that I configure. Why is it saying that router1 is not defined? Server group router1. Where is router1? Huh. Okay, so I did this wrong. Let's go ahead and this one right here, copy. So that's why it keeps saying me this, paste. Actually exit and say no, and then say router 1. And then from router 1, um, okay, so let me see, I messed up on something. Um, the group we call router 1, the server name needs to be, let's call it router 1 as well. Okay, and then let's go ahead and exit. So this one's going to be router 1. Server name is also router 1. So we did router 1, router 1. Good, good. So this is good right now. So this should work fine. So let's go ahead to the TACACS server. Go ahead and open it. And then from here, we have to go to, I believe it's nano, etc, network interfaces. And let's configure those IP addresses. We have to uncomment this one over here. And then let's go ahead and configure the default gateway to be 192.168.1.1, which is router 1 gigabit 0/4. And then let's configure that IP address to be 100. Let's go ahead and X and yes. And after that, you need to reboot the server. So you need to stop it. And then after you stop it, you need to start it again. Then after that, let's go ahead to router 4 and let's see if we are able to ping um, the TACACS server. So let's do ping 192.168.1.100. There we go. So I'm able to ping the TACACS server now. Now I want to see if I'm able to telnet to router 1. So if we do telnet 192, 172.16.5.1. There we go. So it's asking for username. Let's give the username, one of the username in the TACACS server is GNS3, and the password is also GNS3. There we go. So TACACS is working correctly. So I was able to remote into to router 4. So now let's see if we are able to do it from PC1, 192.168.1.1. I'm saying bad command. Let's use help. So it looks like we're not able to telnet from here. So login. So we need to do our login, I guess. Our login 192.168.1.1. So to telnet to port an IP, so you need to give an IP and then the port. And the port for this is a 23. Looks like it's not working. So let's go ahead and do maybe let's go ahead and it's not letting me cancel. Close it. Open it again. Still not working. Cancel. Close the current tab. Let's go ahead and search it over here. Our login port for Telnet. So maybe we need to use port 513. What's the Telnet port? It is 23. That's what I thought. But it is not letting us do it. So maybe if we use, let's do an our login. I'll log in. Our login. Port 513. Let's see if we are able to just do it from 513 then. Um, let's go ahead and go to GNS3. Let's stop this. Let's start it again. And it's at IF config. Let's do a ping 192.168.1.1. So we're not able to ping. So that means that we do not have an IP address configured. So let's do IP 192.168.1.2 /24 192.168.1.1 for the default gateway. Now let's do our login 192.168.1.1 port 513. Is that what it said? I think this is just its own TCP, so it is not going to work, I believe. Yeah, it's not working, as you can see right here. Um, let's see if we can just Google how to Telnet with VPC. Is it a VPC? Is that what it's called? VPCS. So using our login, IP port number, uh, and this is what I do on a daily basis, guys. So when I enter the command terminal in my hi, okay, let's go ahead and read this. Okay, ping. Cool, cool. Let's go ahead and our login. Has the our login command. If you're using bench, you could update version from this. So I'm just trying to see if we find anything with our login, how to log in via Telnet. Okay, so you can see right here. Let's see if we go then to GNS3 config. So Telnet. Let's see if we can try 2502. Let's try this port 2502. And it looks like it's still not going to work. If 2502 is not going to work, let's try 2002 after that. Can I turn it from VPCS to default gateway? So R login 23, does anybody, what happens? Regarding the answer is yes, but to access command using, you need, you start at port, so 4501. So, so let's go ahead and go to GNS3, configure, there's nothing here, edit config, okay, that's still trying to connect, it still has some timeout. So we're going to try port 4501, maybe this one works. So this one's disconnect. I move to my OGNS router icon to find the aux port. Router, but the commands were not processed. Yup, the VPCS sucks in regards. I use the micro core application for this task. Appliance. Let's see if we can find this appliance. So let's go to GNS3, marketplace appliance. So they're using the microcore Linux. Let's go ahead and download it, save it. Just go ahead to GNS3. Let's go ahead and import appliance, microcore Linux, open. Next, there's going to be my GNS3 VM, of course. It is saying that it is missing. Where can we download it from? Okay, let's just go ahead and save it. It has downloaded already. Let's go ahead to GNS3. Let's go to import. And where is, there we go. So it is the image. There we go, ready to install. Next. Yes, I want to install. Next, next. So login password is GNS3. Next. Great. So now let's go ahead to power over here. Microcore Linux. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy. So I guess I'm not going to be using the VPCS anymore. I thought VPCS would be able to work, but I guess it is not working. Let's go ahead and command. Let's go to the console. Close, log into GNS3. Wait, GNS3. Okay, so now we were able to log into this. Now let's go to Nano, etc, network, interfaces maybe. Um, Nano not found. Um, so I'm trying to see if I can. How to configure, not a router. I know how to configure a router, I think. So let's go ahead and configure a tiny core. It's a tiny core Linux IP address. Assign a persistent IP address to a tiny core Linux. So configure this. Let's go ahead and do that. Configure interface ETH0. Not found. EF config. Okay, that looks better. ETH0 192.168.1.3 net mask of 255.255.255.0. Let's go ahead and do sudo. Okay, now it worked. Now let's go ahead and do sudo route add default gateway 192.168.1.1. Okay, that worked. Um, sudo echo name server. Let's see if I can then do maybe city to etc ls. See what we have here, and we do have the resolve conf. So nano resolve conf. Okay. So echo name server 192.168.1.1 etc resolve.conf denied. Cool. Sudo. What about now? Can create permission deny even with a sudo. Okay, let's just try and plug it in and see if that works. I don't want this one anymore, so let's go ahead and delete. Plug this bad boy in. So now let's see if we can ping our default gateway ping 192.168.1.1. So we're able to ping. Okay, let's see if we are able to telnet 92.168.1.1. Great, so we're now able to telnet. That's great. GNS3, password GNS3. So now I'm into router 1. Look at that. Let's see if we're able to configure anything. Config T, or actually enable, and then the enable Cisco. Okay, config T. Let's go to interface gigabit 0/1. Let's just shut it down. Okay, so I was able to shut down. Now let's do no shutdown. And there we go. So we are not getting this um, messages, but it is working from the micro core Linux. So that's great. So now let's go in. So now we can see that router 1 is working. We can just exit out of here. And now we're back to the micro core. So now let's go ahead and go to router 2. And let's open that leaf pad. If you guys remember, oh, this is good. Let's just configure this router 2, and router 2. And let's go ahead and copy. So from router 2, exit, and let's go ahead and paste all of this, see if it works. Great. So mean router 2 is not defined. Yes, it is router 2, router 2, router 2. Router 2, router 2, router 2. It should be defined. I did not get any errors. So now let's go ahead and go to the micro core, and let's see if we're able to telnet to 172.16.5.2. Okay, using GNS3 and GNS3. Oops, I think I typed 3 twice. Okay, GNS3 and GNS3. So I was not able to do that. Let's go ahead and try ask her. And what was the password, Cisco? Here we go. So I'm not able to do it via, um, I was not able to do it via the, for some reason, the TACACS is not working on router 2. So let's go ahead and exit. Now let's go ahead to router 2. So I'm going to tell my technician you did something wrong there. It's not working. Um, so let's go ahead and do triple A group server. So what's not, let's go exit triple A group server name router, or actually server TACACS router 2, and then after router 2 server name router 2. There we go. And then after that server name, now let's go ahead to TACACS server router 2, and let's configure that address IP, IPv4 first, and then the IP address 100, the key GNS3. Okay, so I'm missing one command, and if we go ahead to router 1, let's go ahead and get that last command, which is this one right here. So this is the one that I'm missing. That's why it's probably not working. Let's go ahead and paste it right here. Let's go ahead and paste it right here. There we go. So now let's go ahead to the microcore, Telnet, GNS3, and then GNS3 for the password. It looks like it's still not working. GNS3, GNS3. Still not working. Okay, let's go to router 2. Invalid handle. Bad server type error. Interesting. Let's go ahead and because I put router 1. This one is supposed to be router 2, actually. That's why you need to edit everything over here. Now if we go to the micro GNS3, GNS3, authentication fail. Let's go ahead and try it again. GNS3, GNS3. There we go. Now I'm able to authenticate with the TACACS server. Great. Let's go ahead and exit out of here, and let's go ahead to router 3 and make sure that I do everything. Router 3 over here, and router 3 should work without any issues. Copy. Go ahead to router 3, config T, paste. Server router 3 is not defined. Yes, it is defined. I can go ahead and paste that over here again. Now let's go ahead to the micro core Linux, and let's try to remote into router 3 via Telnet. So Telnet 172.16.3.1 GNS3 GNS3. There we go. Work. So now it's working. Now let's go ahead and do it for router 4 as well. And also over here, don't forget. So go ahead to router 4, config T, paste everything over here. It's not defined. That's a lie. Paste it over here again. So now let's go ahead and try to Telnet to 172.16.1.2 all the way over here. GNS3, GNS3. There we go. So now I'm able to remote into router 4, 3, 2, and also router 1 via Telnet. And what I did was I just configured this microcore Linux, and it was able to work. It is a really long video, hey, but at least it is working. So now from this microcore Linux, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable password Cisco. Let's go ahead and save it. The configuration for router 4. Now let's go ahead to exit, and let's go ahead to router 3, which is 172.16.3.1, GNS3, GNS3, enable Cisco, save it, exit, and now let's go ahead and go to router 2 at 172.16.5.2. Yes, GNS3, GNS3, enable Cisco. So you can see we are in router 2 right now. So let's go ahead and save that configuration. And you can see that right here we had that message, but we do not get over here. I'm gonna see if I'm able to do that on the next video. So router 1, now let's go ahead to router 1 and say router 1. So let's go ahead and exit and go ahead to router 1, which is the default gateway. 192.168.1.1. DNS3, DNS3, enable Cisco, and save it. There we go. It's been saved. So we can just exit out of here. So now I have saved the configuration for router 1, 2, 3, and 4 via the microcore Linux. So my technician had some issues, but he was able to configure EIGRP and the TACACS server. So this is great. No, now I want to just delete this VPCS because it sucks. Bye. Okay, TACACS server over here. Let's go ahead and make this better. This is actually .3. Move it over here. Now that looks better. So I saved all my configuration via microcore Linux. So for now on, we are going to keep using microcore Linux. And let's go ahead and stop everything. And let's go ahead and just save this project. It's open. You can write it. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and just leave it like that. And let's go ahead and close it. Yes. So thank you guys for watching this long video. If you stayed with me, I had a couple of issues, but I was able to resolve it. As you can see, using Google and a lot of these cool websites. Also, thank you GNS3 for saving me with the microcore Linux. And thank you guys for watching. If you guys do not follow me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me right now at CCNA Daily Tips. I have over 500 followers, as you can see. And also, I want to give a shout out to my latest subscriber, to Raymond, Edwin Aizon, Muzan Sarkar, Guda, Joe Evangelista, Ismael Farad, and Jomar Lacosta, and also Rancalo Rosales. So thank you guys for subscribing. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.